Welcome to another episode of Tomiczek Financial, where today we're going to be talking about insurance. And now we've focused a lot on the investment side and managing your credit score, but we want to talk about another important topic in Canada, which is insurance, and it goes a far way. So we've got, of course, our reliable Pierre Tomiczek with us from Tomiczek Financials. Welcome.
Thank you, Josh, for having me.
All right. So as you know, we're getting into this series on insurance. Why would someone feel it necessary to have insurance in Canada?
You know what? I think the main reason that people would need to have insurance is to provide them with that peace of mind, right? It's the what ifs, right? Yeah, we all plan to live forever. We all plan never to have a car accident. We plan that life is going to go smooth, but there's the ups and downs, and that will kind of give you the peace of mind that you would need to maintain your standard of living, securing your future, ensuring that all your dreams come true. Insurance is one of the vehicles that will provide you kind of that level of protection so that you could start to build from there and ensuring that your goals are being met.
So in terms of going on to buying insurance, what are some of the things that would drive those needs? Why would I want to go and buy, as you said, an auto insurance? Why would I want to go and buy life insurance? Specifically, what are some of the things that would drive me, or things that are happening in my life that will determine my insurance needs?
Excellent question. Unlike car insurance, it's not mandated, right? So if you want to drive a car in the province of Ontario or Canada, for that matter, you need car insurance.
Right.
But when it comes to insurance of any kind, it's not mandatory. So you could go, along with your life and never purchase any type of insurance.
Right.
But again, if you want to have that kind of a peace of mind, right? Insurance would be one of the tools that you would need. So let's say you're moving in with a partner. You just had a new baby. You're getting married. Your job situation could be fluctuating.
So you're moving maybe from a job that is low risk to high risk.
That is correct.
So you're more prone to probably injuries.
Exactly.
Maybe you're taking out a new mortgage. And I think we talked about this off air about mortgage insurance and how important that is, especially now with house prices being that level. It's important to have that coverage when you need it.
You're bang on. The average house in the province of Ontario, actually in the GTA, Greater Toronto area, is about 1.1 to 1.2 million.
Right.
And you need roughly about $35,000 a year in income to qualify for that mortgage with a $200,000 or so down payment. You need two incomes at 236. Exactly, minimum. That's like if you were in one of my classes this morning, I said maybe three incomes, right? That we might need. So what happens? We need two incomes. What happens if one of those incomes, kind of falters or goes by the wayside? There goes your dreams. There goes your house. There's foreclosures. So insurance is one of the vehicles, one of the tools that you could use to kind of minimize or mitigate that particular risk.
So in terms of these insurance needs, you said, these situations can change. Your family, you're buying a new house, maybe you're adding a new car. What are some of the insurance products that we might know and we hear a lot about, but some that we don't know that we can get insurance for?
Yeah, well, I mean, life is probably the main one,
right?
That people are, think about. Unfortunately, we're all going to die, right? Well, maybe not you, Josh, but most of us.
Hopefully not right now.
Exactly. Hopefully not right. After this podcast, maybe something could happen. But we're all going to die, so therefore that need for insurance will be there. But there's another type of insurance that people neglect and are, they're aware of, but they kind of put it by the wayside. Disability insurance. We are more likely, if you reach the age of 40, you're twice or three times more likely to be disabled for a 90-day period than you're more likely to die. Whereby most people in the 40s have life insurance, but not disability insurance. Ask yourself this question: to maintain my standard of living, I need to live on 100% of my income.
Correct.
what would happen if you would become disabled and not able to work? Now, your income, you're going to rely on the government income, and that's going to be substantially lower. So your standard of living, when you really need it, is going to be impacted.
And that's important, because I think there's a statistic that says a lot of Canadians are living paycheck to paycheck.
Oh my God, yes.
So if you lose that paycheck, you need that protection.
Exactly.
And the time. When do you get that insurance? You said a lot of times in our 40s we have life insurance, but we don't have critical illness insurance or disability insurance. So it's important to get insurance. So when's a good time to get insurance in general?
Yesterday.
Yeah. So just like investing, start getting your insurance policies working for you. And you know, we're going to talk in future videos about life insurance and all of that, all of those stuff. But like disability, critical illness, these are the types of insurance products that you'll need. You need to get that as early as possible.
Yeah, and one of the things I often joke about when it comes to the financial service industry is that financial services companies will provide you stuff when you don't need it, right? So product offerings, hey, here's that line of credit, here's that new credit card that you might, might be, useful to you. Did you ask for it? No. So the same thing about insurance. When you're healthy and you don't think that you don't need it, and you don't have dependents, you don't have, you're single, so you're thinking this is not the right time to get it. But this is probably when you're most healthy, and this is probably when the cost of insurance will be at its lowest. When you don't feel you need it, there's always that particular need. So you probably want to get it early as opposed to later. You don't want to wait until your 50s and 60s. There's kind of a mythical age bracket whereby the insurance cost kind of skyrockets, and that's typically around the 40 years old.
So with younger people, getting that insurance early really sets you up. And a lot of people will have that reservation. I don't need this insurance because that's not going to happen to me. But you never know. You never know what's going to happen. I can go down the stairs, which I hardly use. But you can go down the stairs and you can get injured, and then you're out of commission for about 3 to 6 months, and you're losing your income.
I'll give you a great example. Well, it's a sad but great example. One of my first time at RBC many years ago. I had a young couple that came in, so they had bought a house for about $300,000. So that tells you how far we've come, right? And they had mortgage insurance. So I made sure that they had mortgage insurance because they barely were able to afford that house. Want to make sure, God forbid, something happens, that they would be covered. So upon signing the document, so they got them the mortgage, got them the mortgage life insurance, the wife passes away.
Wow.
Within, I would say, the house closed about 90 days. She passed away within 60 days.
Wow.
Unforeseen, right? And they just had a new baby.
Wow.
Right? So you can imagine all the stress that will cause. In the best of time, when someone dies, there's stress, right? But now we're adding a baby, newly married, new house. The best thing that I could have done for them, instead of just basically being there for them and tell them not to worry about anything, is the fact that now you don't have to worry about the mortgage.
And I'm sure they came after a while and they thanked you for that.
Exactly.
And say, if we didn't have that, we had to find $300,000 or give up the house.
Exactly.
And you've got a new baby.
Exactly, because we needed the two incomes to maintain that standard of living. And then now the husband, what he could focus on is making sure that his little son is, taken care of, because he lost his mom. So definitely nobody planned for this, and they were early 30s. Who plans on dying in your early 30s?
That's right. And again, unforeseen circumstances, and that's why we need insurance. Now, we talk about the cost for insurance, and we hear this word thrown out there, which is called premium. Now, when we hear about premium, we're usually thinking about a benefit, we're thinking about an additional something. But when we talk about premiums in insurance, what are we talking about, basically?
So we're talking about because insurance companies, believe it or not, they're in the business of making money, right?
Yeah.
So yes, they will insure you in the event something bad happens. So they're looking at probabilities. So they're basically looking at the probability that something bad is going to happen to a group of individuals that fits your similar age bracket, similar type of lifestyle. So the premiums kind of factor in a bit of the profit, the cost of paying out the benefit should something happen. So your age is important. Your gender. I mean, they're still going with gender at this particular stage. So typically, males, the cost will be higher than female. Your occupation also has an impact on the cost, and definitely your health. So smoking, not smoking, will also have an impact, and sometimes also where you live, right? So especially when it comes to car insurance, because we're talking insurance in general. So the jurisdiction. So you've heard the stories. If you live west, the cost is higher than if you live, in the eastern part of GTA. So all of these have an impact on the cost of the type of insurance that you're looking for.
And one of the big things I think would influence your premium is if you have any pre-existing conditions, and you don't want to lie. You don't want to lie on your application because they're going to find out, and then they're going to cancel your policy, or they're not going to give you a policy. And then what happens is that when you go and look for another one, it's going to be there.
Beautiful. That's a great point. If you've ever been denied insurance, that will act like having bad credit. It would be the same. So if Manulife denied you, then why me at Sun Life, at Beneva, at Serenia Life? Why would I take on that risk? Manulife has already denied you. So definitely, you don't want to lie.
So you said these factors influence your premiums. Ensure that you're honest, and certain things you can't control, your age, maybe your gender, but ensure that you're healthy. Non-smokers get a lower premium, obviously, because you're likely to live longer. That's what they say. We don't know. Maybe they do.
Yeah,
and they've got the people doing the calculations and the math.
Exactly.
So that's important. In terms of insurance and what we're talking about, we're just introducing the idea of insurance and all of these products that you can have in Canada, the importance of having insurance. But I want to narrow, finally, before we close, is how can Tomiczek Financials, that's what we're here for, how can Tomiczek Financials assist in addressing those needs? Again,
our team, I'm lucky enough to have a very, very good team. So, you see the Tomiczek Financial, it's always me, the face, but there are people in the background also assisting. And one of the things that we focus on is the whole thing. We're all about planning. We want to get to know you. We want to get to know your goals so that we could structure a plan that could include all the various types, in this situation, insurance. So just like we're diversifying in investment, we would diversify in terms of your insurance needs. So we've talked about disability. We've talked about life insurance. In passing, you talked about critical illness, which is another type of insurance whereby a lot of times we're living longer. We may have a stroke, but we're not going to die. Or we may have a heart attack, but we're going to live with, and still stay alive. The critical illness will pay you a lump sum while you're alive to ensure that you have the quality of life to maintain you in those years. So that, and also home and auto insurance we also provide. So we got the alphabet soup of insurance available, and most likely there'll probably be an insurance product that will suit your particular need.
And that's where sitting down with your advisor and sitting down with Tomiczek Financials can help you discover those needs. And maybe in that conversation that you're having with a team member, that you didn't know that you need this, and then it comes up, and then you are now better protected. Just like your clients years ago with the mortgage insurance, or me slipping down the step. That's not gonna happen. But you never know
Yeah.
when you're going to need insurance, and having it is better than not having it at all.
Exactly.
And you have to be prepared for the uncertain times, especially post-COVID. I think the need for insurance, because a lot of jobs, you lost your job, maybe the industries were changing where you're working, and now you don't have the skill set, and you're home. Maybe you picked up long COVID. And I think there's insurance products coming out to deal with those kind of illnesses as well.
Exactly.
And we're going to encounter illnesses in the future.
You're absolutely right. And it's one of those axioms where basically it's better to have insurance, right, and not need it, than need it and not have it.
That's right.
Right. So it's almost, to me, when it comes to financial planning, it's kind of the foundation of financial planning. Before we move on to the next level, right, to investing and all that, I want to make sure that you've got that foundation taken care of, which is on the insurance side.
And I just want to throw this in before we close the video. It just came to me because when I first came to Canada, I was renting. I'm still renting, but the idea is that I didn't know about tenant insurance and how it's affordable. And if anything happens while you're renting, you're protected just a small amount, and that small premium can protect you for a big expense that you could avoid.
I remember when I moved from Montreal to Toronto, got $10,000 of tenant insurance, right? And who told me about this? My mom, right? So that she was my advisor at that particular time, and it was great. I never used it,
right?
But God forbid if something happened, my big screen TV would have been taken care of. Right. So definitely. So all the various forms of protection, we can assist you and find something that's suitable. And you may not have a need, or think you may not have a need for insurance, but guess what? We're probably going to die. And there's one thing about dying, it's two things they said, two certainties in life: death and taxes. So dying will incur some tax liability, and guess what? Insurance could cover it.
And with insurance, when you die, you're thinking about the persons you left behind.
Exactly.
And insurance helps to ensure that they're protected.
Exactly. And guess what? Guess what? The insurance proceed that you get upon death, tax-free.
There you go.
Where else could you get some tax-free?
That's a good note to end the podcast today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you tune in for future episodes. Continue to like, subscribe, share our content so that we can spread the word. And us here at Tomiczek Financials, we want to help you and address your financial needs. So hope you enjoyed our video today, and look forward for future ones as well. Take care.